Yet, every Saturday morning, without fail, you could find Mrs. Linda Perez at the same grocery store in Texas. She was always one of the first ones there, a small calculator in one hand and a neatly written shopping list in the other. For Linda, every dollar counted. Living alone and working part-time at a daycare meant that money was always tight. But you'd never hear her complain. Linda lived by a simple, unwavering rule: only buy what you can afford. That particular morning, as she made her way down aisle 7, her eyes caught something on the floor. It was a crumpled grocery receipt. Her first instinct was to just walk past. It was just trash, after all. But for some reason, she stopped. She bent down and picked it up. Her curiosity piqued. Smoothing out the wrinkled paper, her gaze fell to the total at the bottom: $327.84. Linda's eyes widened. That was a serious amount of money. Whoever dropped this must have been shopping for a big family, or maybe preparing for a special occasion. She tucked the receipt into her pocket and continued with her shopping, carefully selecting only the items on her list. As she approached the checkout lanes, she heard a quiet, tense conversation. A young man was at the register, his face etched with worry, talking to the cashier. His cart was overflowing with essentials: baby formula, diapers, a week's worth of groceries, and a small, brightly decorated birthday cake. "I'm so sorry, sir," the cashier said, her voice gentle but firm. "Your card keeps declining." The young man let out a stressed sigh, running a hand through his hair. "My paycheck isn't until Monday," he explained, his voice barely a whisper. I didn't realize the total would be this high." The people waiting in line behind him started to shift uncomfortably. Some looked down at their phones, others stared at the ceiling. An awkward silence filled the air. No one said a word. No one made a move to help. Linda watched the scene unfold. She saw the desperation in the young father's eyes and the small birthday cake sitting on top of his groceries. Her heart ached. She thought about the crumpled receipt in her pocket. Then, without a second thought, she stepped forward. "Excuse me," she said softly, her voice cutting through the silence. "How much is left on the bill?" The cashier looked up, surprised. "There's about $75 remaining." Linda opened her worn purse. Inside was her carefully organized cash envelope for the week. The rent money was already set aside in its own compartment, and the money for bills was accounted for. What was left was her grocery money and a small amount she kept for any unexpected extras. She carefully counted out the exact amount she had planned for her own extras for the entire week. "I've got it," she said, handing the cash to the cashier. The young man turned to her, his eyes welling up with tears. He was speechless for a moment. "Ma'am, you don't have to do that," he finally managed to say. Linda offered him a warm, gentle smile. "I know," she replied simply. "But I want to." The entire checkout area went quiet. All eyes were on this small, elderly woman who had just performed an incredible act of kindness. The cashier finished the transaction, and the young man, still in shock, whispered thank you over and over again. He held the birthday cake with such care, as if it were the most precious thing in the world. As Linda walked out of the store and into the bright Texas sun, she felt a strange mix of emotions. She felt lighter, but also heavier. Her own budget for the week was now incredibly tight. She wasn't entirely sure how she was going to stretch her remaining few dollars to last. But deep down, she knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that she had made the right choice. She had seen someone in need, and she had helped. Later that day, something unexpected happened. A security clip from the grocery store found its way online. Someone had recorded the moment on their phone and shared it with a simple caption. This amazing woman paid for a complete stranger's groceries without anyone asking. The video went viral. It spread across social media like wildfire. Millions of people watched Linda's selfless act. The comments section flooded with praise. People called her an angel, a hero, a true inspiration. They were moved to tears by her generosity. But Linda didn't see any of it. She wasn't on social media. She didn't know she had become an internet sensation. She was at home in her small, quiet kitchen, humming a little tune as she made soup from the few ingredients she had managed to buy. A quiet, contented smile played on her lips. She didn't need the world's applause or recognition. Her reward was the quiet satisfaction of knowing she had made a difference in someone's life. This story is a powerful reminder that true kindness isn't about how much you have to give. It's not about grand gestures or having a lot of money. It's about giving what you can, even if it's just a little, at the moment when it matters the most. It's about seeing another person struggle and choosing to be the one who steps forward. Linda's story shows us that a small act of compassion can create ripples that touch millions, and that the richest people are not those who have the most, but those who give the most. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. We'll see you in the next video.